What's up YouTube? Vintage Yu-Gi-Oh here today with a very special video. I'm going through the top 30 of my favorite cards that I have graded. If you looked at the thumbnail, you probably thought these 5 cards out here were part of it, but those are just close contenders, but unfortunately they did not make the top 30 cut. This is not based on value, but merely my 30 favorite cards based on artwork, sentimental value of me pulling it, just anything that really makes me like the card. So if the Paladin would have been a 10, it would have made the cut, but since it's just a 9, I know it's kind of grade shaming, but it did not make the cut, but you guys can look at it the entire video. So we're gonna get right into it and start with number 30, Exodia Necros. Really, this card makes the cut just because of how epic the artwork is. Just a full Exodia there on the card with the kind of green, eerie smog around it. So really just makes the cut because of the artwork. We get into Magic Ruler card. I believe the only Magic Ruler card that made the cut. Spellbinding Circle. And all 30 of these cards will be in Gem Mint 10 and First Edition if possible. So I don't have to say that every time. Kind of always wanted this card back in the day, and I mean it's a real symbolic Yugi artwork with the Spellbinding Circle, real card he used. So that's why it comes in at 29. 28, we have DD Warrior. I really got into Yu-Gi-Oh playing the video game. I think it was Eternal Duelist Soul, and I remember the computers always use this card in it. When this card battles a monster after damage calculation, remove the monster and this card from play. And I always remember getting, I'd use a Cyberstone and play Blue Eyes Ultimate and attack or something, and then it would get destroyed. So just a really nostalgic card for me from the video game. And then another really cool looking artwork coming in at 27 is Blackluster Soldier Envoy the Beginning. Kind of a different take on Yugi's just original Blackluster Soldier. So cool artwork, really nice holo on it, and makes the list. Coming in at 26, we have a Tournament Pack 1 Mechanical Chaser. And if you're like, oh, how can that come in so low on the list? TP1 Mechanical Chaser, Gem Mint 10, impossible to find. It's really just because I think they could have done a little more with the holo. It's just the tools on the Mechanical Chaser is the holo part. So real nostalgic card. A lot of people would have done anything to have it back in the day, but just the holo on it's a little disappointing for me. But so makes the list, but not super high. So that's 26. 25, a card that has a beautiful holo. Let's see if we can get it. You can see it, the holo bleed right up in the title area if you look closely. Really hard to get well centered. Bought this off Troll and Toad for like $10 and came back Gem Mint 10. So I mean, crazy luck. But yeah, just makes the list for obvious reasons. Just beautiful artwork and pretty neat card. A card pretty much everyone had back in the day, coming in at 24, Dark Magician Starter Deck Yugi. This, I mean, if you know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh, you've probably seen this card in the Starter Deck Blue Eyes version at least. So I really think the Blue Eyes from the Starter Deck should have been the artwork in LOB. So should probably be ranked above the LOB Dark Magician, but nonetheless, I have it here at 24. A card that just purely looks really cool to me is Beast of Talwar from Pharaoh's Servant. Has real eerie, creepy looking kind of Batman kind of look to it, and surprisingly they didn't censor the sword, so kind of a more scary, one of the scarier cards that they've released. So always appreciated the artwork on this, so that's why it comes in at 23. 22, another card that came in starter deck, Yugi, another popular Yugi card, Summon Skull from, this is a Metal Raiders version. Just a really cool looking card with the the skeleton, and really usable card with the 2,500 attack points. So really glad to have that as a 10, and it comes in at number 22. And 21, a card that would be probably way higher up on the list if they hadn't put the stupid dot on the spear, is the legendary Fisherman. Another card that's pretty hard to have well centered, so just really like Meku card. So 21, and then at 20 is its famous counterpart, Fortress Whale. So and once again, these I played against Meku on Eternal Duel Soul. You could go through the different levels. I think he was like, the first level was like Joey, Yugi, Taya, and Tristan, and then the second level was Meku and My Valentine and Weevil and people that he met at Duelist Kingdom. So I played against a lot of these cards on the computer, so that's why I like a lot of these cards. A lot of dragons made the top cut, and at 19 we have Xiaoryu from Dark Duel Story, the second release. Just, I don't know, for some reason this is probably part of one of my first trades. I think me and a buddy were dueling, and he would put this card up, and I put a Salamandra from Dark Duel Stories, and we dueled, and I think I lost. So I think he won my Salamander, but I remember seeing that card and like, wow, that's a really cool card. So that's why this comes in at 19. 18, kind of a card past Eternal Duel Soul, and I really mainly only collected from LOB through what would have been Pharaoh's Servant. That was part of the game, so those were the cards I collected. So this is kind of an afterthought, but I kind of followed it still. I just didn't really buy and collect. So it'd probably be higher on the list if it came out in an earlier set, but the artwork on this is just, I mean, stunning. So definitely deserves to be in pretty much anyone's list, I believe. That comes in at 18. 17, another really valuable card. I mean, if you can't appreciate this artwork, then you need to go to an eye doctor, because, I mean, just look at the hollow bleed on this card all the way through the top. So just really, really cool looking card. So Blue Eyes Shining Dragon Retro Pack 2 comes in at 17. 16, another really popular Pharaoh's Servants card, Buster Blader. So once again, I collected from LOB to Pharaoh's Servant, so this was right in my wheelhouse. I think I had it in my deck on Eternal Duel Soul. Just a really neat looking card, and obviously this card with Dark Magician makes the popular Dark Paladin, so had to get it in the top 30 somewhere. 15, Morphing Jar Tournament Pack 2. It was one of these cards that I never had, just because of how rare and how expensive it was back in the day. So I was kind of always like, oh, I always want that card, want that card, want that card. And finally, I was able to get it. I think I've owned maybe 3 copies ever. So if I had it earlier on, it'd mean a little more to me, but still nonetheless a really, really creepy, cool looking nostalgic card. So that comes in at 15. Another Yugi staple, we have Change of Heart for Metal Raiders. I think this is probably that, along with Mask Beast, both really just underrated artworks. This artwork is so simple, but so neat and so well done at the same time. Just the dark and light, just is a really neat concept to me. So can't go wrong with a good old Change of Heart. Coming in at 13, we have first print and second print, and both of these, I like both of them in different ways. I like the first print just because I love the first print foils on all LOB cards. I mean, just look at the bumpiness. Just looks like just popping out at you. And then, but I also love the second print because it's so crisp and clean and just really pops too. So I love equally both, and equally they both come in at number 13. Might want to put some sunglasses on after looking at that card. Coming in at 12, we have Jinzo from Pharaoh Serpent. Once again, collected during this time frame and had it in my deck back in the old school days, and just a card everyone kind of wanted to have. So beautiful, beautiful looking card. So number 12. And then I always wanted the God cards, but Slifer is still, I mean, if you ask anyone, what's your favorite God card? It's always, I mean, not always, but way more than half the time it's going to be Slifer. And this card's so shiny you can't even read the title. So pretty much any prismatic card could make my top 30 on just how well they look. I mean, you see 3 back here. I mean, Metal Morph looks amazing. Red Eyes looks amazing, so can't go wrong with any prismatic secret rare. But Slifer comes in at number 11. So then we get in the top 10. Number 10 comes in, highest rarity of Machine King from European Mall Tour back in 2004. Really underrated card in a collecting standpoint. I mean, I think if you ask a lot of people, they wouldn't even know this card exists. So it'd be cool to see a little more people give this card appreciation. And if you follow me on Instagram at all, you know I love my machines. So, well, I like pretty much any Bandit Keith card. So, Machine King coming in at at number 10. Number 9, you got to go back to the staples. LOB, Red Eyes, Black Dragon, Joey's first real starter deck card. Got from Rex at Duelist Kingdom, I think, in his first duel. So real popular card on the anime, and obviously Joey, main character, popular to collectors today. So first print, beautiful. I really like the first print version of this a lot better than the second print. Unlike the Dark Magician, I kind of like both equally. Number 8, card I always chased. I saw a buddy back in 2002 that had this card, and I always wanted it. Just I mean, beautiful looking card. It was when LOB was the only pack release, so there were no other secret rares to compare it to, you know, the first secret rare from the first set, so how can that not make your top 30? So that's number 8, Tri-Horn Dragon. Number 7, we have a combination of Burst Stream of Destruction and Blue Eyes White Dragon from LOB and AST. I think they really screwed up not naming it White Lightning, but that's just my opinion. Just love the artwork on the Burst Stream with the blue eyes. That looks straight out of the anime with that artwork of the blue eyes. And then same, I think they should have put the starter deck Kaiba excuse me, artwork in LOB, but to each their own. Still a beautiful looking card, and just for nostalgic purposes of that's the blue eyes from the first set. It's why it falls at number 7. So I love machines and I love dragons. So what do? You make a machine that is a dragon. So coming in at number 6, Blowback Dragon. And really it comes in that high just because my love for dragons and machines. So it's up there with Barrel Dragon, which you'll see here shortly. So 6, Blowback Dragon. Number 5, the first secret rare I ever pulled in my tiny local card shop was Serpent Night Dragon. So obviously I've got a really soft spot for it. I think I own 3 Serpent Night Dragons in gym mint 10 condition. So beautiful, just very basic but beautiful artwork. Pretty crappy attack and defense for a 7-star monster, but the good simple days of vanilla monsters. Number 4. Not much needed to say besides just any true old school collector would love to have this card in their collection. Dark Magician Girl MFC 000, first edition. Excuse me. Just a real crowd pleaser. So lucky to have this in my collection, and I'm actually sending a second one off to get graded, and hopefully it will get a 10 as well. But just love her for the artwork pretty much. And number 3, so I pulled the Serpent Night Dragon, and my buddy had a Barrel Dragon, and that was my first real trade, was trading a Serpent Night Dragon for a Barrel Dragon. So always really love the artwork on this card, and I own 2 or 3 of these in gym mint 10, and I always will just because of how cool of a card it looks. So, and on Eternal Duel of Soul, I definitely had this in my deck and I played it, and always hope that I get 2 heads out of 3 coin flips. So brings back a lot of memories seeing this card. All right, number 2. This and the LOB version are definitely the most prized blue eyes out there. This artwork is just a lot more nostalgic to me than the LOB version. It's what was on the anime, what's in the starter deck, and just a really beautiful card. And like I said, any prismatic secret rare could make the cut, so they did this card right. So really glad to be able to own that in gym mint 10, and no matter if it was a $1,000 card or $100 card, it'd be in my top 5 for sure. And last but not least, if you follow me at all, you probably know what the last card is now at this point. It's my Shauna Jump Championships Cyberstein. And if you know anything about Eternal Duel of Soul, you started with 8,000 life points. So you could afford to spend 5,000 to pull out Blue Eyes Ultimate. Once you got Blue Eyes Ultimate, it'd pretty much be game, set, match. So you have a few Witch of the Black Forest or Songans or whatever to get Cyberstun and get it summoned, and then pull out Blue Eyes Ultimate and you'd win the match. So definitely use this card pretty much every game on there. So and at the time it was Shonen Jump Championships, and that was the only version. There wasn't a Dark Beginning one or anything like that. So I mean, obviously this was a dream, and even when I bought this a few months ago, it was still bought it ungraded dream, hoping to get it graded a 9. I was going to be very content with a 9, and it came back a 10, and I'll probably go to the grave with this card. So for that reason, this is my clear number 1 of my top 30 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So really hope you guys enjoyed this video of my favorite cards. Obviously I probably have close to 200, so it was really hard to narrow it down just to 30. So if you guys think I really missed out on a card, comment below. If you were like, oh, you know, Mask Beast is my favorite card, you know, just love reading comments. I'll reply back. So subscribe, because I can easily do more videos like this in the future. I got a 50 or 60 card submission going out, so top 30 might shake up after that. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.